Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just bringing you guys another video. This was actually from yesterday. Um, Honestly, not really a good day. To be quite honest with you. But beginning of the week is always kind of like that. But I want to go over something with you guys, and I want to just kind of explain why it's so hard to keep platinum. You know, I've been talking about this for a while. Um, and basically what I mean by it is that once I start getting up to the 80s or close to the 80s, DoorDash just does not want me to get to that marker for some reason. Without a shadow of a doubt, every time I get high 70s, 78, 79, they start giving me a barrage of really bad orders. And not just that, but I can literally accept 6-7 orders and not even go up a percentage, but then decline one and drop down. And this is exactly why it's hard to stay platinum. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So I started off the day. Okay, I did the afternoon because breakfast has been really bad for me in this market. So I've been doing afternoons and dinner, lunch and dinner. So same thing I'm gonna do today too, because currently at the time of recording it's about 12:15. I'm gonna try to go out like around 12:30, maybe a little bit after, I don't know, and do a little bit of dashing until tonight, until like 8-9 o'clock. So that's what I've been doing. Basically, been doing anywhere from like 12 to 8. Yesterday I didn't start till 2. But I got this first order, Old Spaghetti Factory, 850, 4.8 miles. I took it. Get myself on the board. Not the best offer because it's going almost 5 miles for 850, but it's a Monday. It's the beginning of the week, and yeah, I never get anything really good at the beginning of the week. So, I mean, Mondays are kind of like they're kind of like wild cards. Like it can be good, it can be bad. It just really depends. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are by far the worst days. But I took this anyways. There you go. So that offer was $850. It broke down to $250 base pay, $6 customer tip. Okay. Then I get Panera, 740 plus, 2.3 miles. Okay. Took that. Solid offer. Okay. And there you go. So actually, no. So what happened there is I actually got an add-on. I'm sorry. So I didn't get the screenshot of the 740. I got the screenshot of the add-on. But as you can see, the total, $20. That was after I delivered the one for the 742, which is this one right here, or 740, I'm sorry. And then the add-on, it was $4.82. So that one was $2 base pay, $2.82 customer tip. So I was at $20.72 after those 3 orders. Then I got Panda, 715 for 2.7, another good solid offer. Took that. And now I'm at $27.87 for 2 hours. Okay. So not where I want to be, but like I said, it's a Monday. So that offer broke down 715, 240 base pay, 475 customer tip. Okay. So I've taken my first 4 offers. Now keep in mind, I started at 78%. Okay. That was my acceptance rate, was 78. And I was actually kind of stoked because I was like, okay, well, maybe I only need 2% to get to 80. So maybe I can get to 80 today or 81, whatever, in the 80s. But then they give me a crap order, as you can see, Noodles and Company, 375, no tip, 3.3 miles. Obviously, I'm declining that. I'm not taking that. And that brings me from 78 to 77. So even though I started at 78 and I took 4 orders, I stayed at 78. But when I declined 1 order, I dropped down to 77. This is very common. It's very, very common because it goes off of your lifetime or whatever. So, I mean, I get it, but this is exactly why it's hard to be platinum, because I can take 5 or 6 offers not move a dial, deny one bad offer, and drop down a percentage. So this is what I want to get to. So then I drop down to 77, and then I get a stacked order, Dave's Hot Chicken, Shangri-La, 1547 miles. Took that. So that's 2, right? All right, and there you go, 43.27. That offer was 1540, broke down to 290 base pay, and then 650 tip from Shangri-La, and then $6 from Dave's Hot Chicken. Then I was heading back to Zone. I was kind of in Zone, but I was heading back to, like where more of the restaurants are located. But then I got hit with this Tacos El Amigo. Never been there before. But it was 7 miles for $12.40, so I took it. It was right around the corner from where I'm at. As you can see, the little pin location and where the restaurant's at, it was literally right around the corner. And then it was taking me back to where I wanted to be anyways, so I was cool with it. But then you can see I dropped off that order, but while I was trying to take the screenshot, another order came in. I mean, that's kind of how it was yesterday. Like, they were just coming in right away. So I couldn't even... Well, I did get the screenshot later on, but I couldn't get it at this moment because then this order came in, and I declined that, obviously, $6.40 for 5.6 at KFC. I'm not taking that. That's a horrible offer. And then you can see right there, now it drops me 77 to 76. And now that is the screenshot that I was trying to take from when I dropped off that Tacos El Amigo. That was $12.40. $2.40 base pay, and then $10 customer tip, which was good. Not sure why it says offers accepted 6 out of 7, because I definitely did decline 2 offers. I'm not sure why it's making it look like I only declined 1. But I showed you the screenshots, and you can see I went from 78 to 77 on the first one I declined, and then 77 to 76 on the second one I declined. So I'm not sure why it's saying that I accepted 6 out of 7. But I logged out there. $55.67. I mean, not too bad. Dinner Rush was actually okay. I mean, some of those larger orders made up for it. But I mean, if you're calculating, $20 an hour times 3 hours, it would be 60. I was at 55.67 for 3.5. So not too bad. It was like 5:30. I know we're in Dinner Rush, but I was hungry, so I just logged out so I can go get some food and put a little bit of gas in my tank, and then I hopped right back on. I didn't get the screenshot of the order, but this was a Panda Express. It was $7.75, $2.50 base pay, $5.25 customer tips. I didn't get the mileage, but as you can see, it only took me 18 minutes, and that was waiting like 4 or 5 minutes at Panda, so it wasn't very far. So got that done, and then I got a stacked order from Marco's Pizza and Moonstar 2, $14.90 for 7.3 miles. So I did go ahead and take that. Easy peasy. 1 hour now, a little over an hour, $22.65. That was $14.90, so it broke down to $2.90 base pay. And then I got $3 for the tip for Marco's Pizza, and then $9 for the tip for the Moonstar 2. Then I get this garbage order, $4.40, 4.1, $2 tips, Culver's. We're not taking that. You already know we're not going to take that. So that was declined. And I didn't get the screenshot of it. Sorry, I was getting hit with a barrage of orders at this time. But I think that dropped me down to, let's see, I was at 70. Hold on. I was at 76, so it dropped me down to 75. Okay. So I declined that, dropped me down to 75. And then I ended up taking this. I didn't want to, guys, because it's a horrible offer. $3.40, no tips, 2.9 miles. But I was like, man, I don't want to drop down even further. Like that's like kind of been how it was going. Yesterday it was every time I just deny one order, I dropped down a whole percentage. So I ended up taking it, which was horrible. It was a bad idea on my part. I should have never done it because, as you can see, it was $3.40 base pay, no tip. So, I mean, just all around, just a horrible order. That brought me to $26.05 for an hour and 44 minutes. Then I get this BS 515, no tip, again, 6.7 miles. Definitely not taking that. That's from Sophia Angelitas. And then that brought me down to 74% now. So I started at 78. I'm at 74. So I figured I'd give it one more shot. And then again, Noodles and Company, 440 for 3 miles, decline. I'm not taking that. More declines, just really just bad. Like yesterday, like the lunch was decent. I had a couple declines, but at least they were decent enough. And the dinner rush, which is usually where my bread and butter is yesterday, just was not it. This one said it did not drop me below 74%. So I cut it off there. I want to stop the bleeding at 74%. So 2 hours for $26. That's what, like $13 an hour, you know? So $13 an hour for dinner, you know, horrible. I had like 17 or 18 for lunch and then $13 for dinner. Just horrible. So altogether, for yesterday, I did $81.72. I try to always make minimum $100, especially like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, minimum $100, and I fell short by like $20. But I didn't work a whole day, just because the night really, I got a late start, and then the night kind of sucked. So I only worked 5.5 hours, but that comes out to $14.85. $14.85 for the, per hour. I did 11 total deliveries yesterday. So 81.72 divided by the 11, so it's an average of 7.42 per delivery. Not horrible. And then the miles, I did 63 miles. I forgot to take a screenshot of the miles, but trust me, it was 63. It actually said like 71 or whatever, but when I paused it, I did a couple of things, like I went to go get food and stuff like that. So I only counted, what I actually did for DoorDash. So 63 divided by the 81.72, which was horrible, came out to $1.29 per mile. Not very good at all. I get it was a Monday. Today's a Tuesday. I don't predict today's going to be any better than yesterday. If anything, it might be worse. That's why I kind of started a little bit later. That way, if it sucks really bad, I'll just pack it up and go home. They said we were supposed to get some snow. It started out sunny today, and now the sun has went away. It's starting to get a little colder now. It's dipping. The breeze and the wind has picked up, and the skies are looking gloomy. So we probably might get snow, and then if we do, maybe I can get some higher orders because of the snow, or maybe it'll just stay dead and I'll just be like, I don't want to drive in it, and I'll just go home. So I don't know. But that was my Monday, guys. $81.72 for 5.5 hours worth of work. Not great. But this is why I say it's really hard to stay platinum, because I started off at a 78 and I finished at a 74. And I, what really hurt was those 5 or 6 really bad offers that they sent me in a row. And then that's what they do. They don't just send you one bad offer and then send you a couple of good ones. No, they want to just keep hitting you with it. It's kind of like when you cut somebody and that's not enough pain, right? You got to take salt and you got to put it in the wound and then rub it, That's kind of like what DoorDash does, that they feed you something that they know you're not going to take. And then they just keep feeding you bullshit. I mean, that's just how it is. And that's why it's hard to stay platinum. And now I'm starting my day at a 74%. I'm hoping to maybe, pick up a couple percent, 75, 76 somewhere before the end of the night. I mean, I'll probably have to do 20 orders just to go up 1%. But I mean, that's how they play the game, and it makes me afraid to decline orders because I don't want to keep dropping further down. I mean, I busted my butt to get from a 70 to a 78. And then it took no time to drop all the way back down again. So this is the part of DoorDash that I don't care about. For those that are in markets where you can stay consistently in the 80s, kudos to you. Stay in that market. Don't ever leave it, man. Like that's awesome. I honestly wish I could be that way. I get jealous sometimes. It's like, man, I get up there and I get all happy and cheesy, and then all of a sudden here comes the barrage of BS, and now I'm right back down to the low 70s again, and I gotta do some work to get back up there, and then it's gonna be a cat and mouse game, and then they're gonna feed me more bad orders to go back down again. So what do I do? Like, you guys, let me know, what would you do in this situation? Would you keep declining the bad orders no matter what, even if it drops your AR, or would you just suck it up and take them to get back up to the 80 in the 80s? Like the highest I think I've ever been was 81%. And I was literally only at 81% for like a day. And then they started dropping me down. So I never experienced like high 80s. Like I've always been around 76, 77, 78, 79, and 80 is kind of like where I've always been. But then once you get up there, it's so easy to fall back down again. And then it's just like, you don't want to drop below 70 because then now you're out of platinum. And if you have a platinum pass and you have to use it, but they're not really that great, so it just, I don't know. It's a cat and mouse game. When you're doing this full time and you're relying on the income, you got to say, I have to make a certain amount per day. But it's really hard to stay out here and be committed when they're just giving you bad order after bad order after bad order. So I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. But yeah, that was my Monday. Hopefully we'll have a better Tuesday. I'm not real skeptical. Looking at the parking lot right now, everything looks like it's completely dead. But that's just could be because bad weather's coming in and people know it, and they're probably heading for their house. So I don't know. We'll see if orders pick up or if it doesn't. I don't know. But anyways, guys, I hope you're doing good. Hope you're out there making great decisions and you're making money in your respective markets. And have a great rest of your day.